Back to the dance. What's poppin', y'all? It is Shhmoney Curl, and we are here with Parlor Talk, the conversation behind the hair. Woo! I did it!
You did
and
it.
we are back after a long weekend for Memorial Day, and we did the all-white event. Well, you guys did the all-white event. I was gone because of baseball. I was being a mom.
Yes.
I was being a mom.
I mean, that's what
That's all
matters
right.
the
That's why.
most.
Yes.
Hi guys, this is Dee Dominguez. Welcome to Parlor Talk. That's why we're a team. Because
Yes. We pick up where somebody slacks. And I was
Absolutely.
slacking.
Absolutely.
Hey everyone, what's up? It's your girl Enya Phoenix, and we are freaking back in the building. Let's get to it because we have missed a lot.
We have missed a lot, and there's a
lot.
lot of conversation that
Yes.
we need to
A lot.
have.
Yes, there's a lot going on in the world, but personally also. So let's talk about Slowdown.
Yes.
White
Oh
party.
my God.
I'm
It
so
was.
mad I missed it.
Let me
Because I
tell
had
you.
I finally did go to Sarasota when I was out there, and I bought an all-white outfit. And I didn't make it because my stepson made it to the next championship. So
Which
it
is
was like,
good.
it is good, but I ain't gonna lie, I was like, bitch, lose already. Like, lose. I'm ready to go. I got a whole suntan.
She's sitting
just
there
sitting
looking
out
at
there
her
for 5
watch
hours.
like,
Yeah, and I was
you gonna
lit. I was one of
lose?
them
You gonna
parents
lose?
that was pulling out like Mick Ultras and putting it in the little turvises. I was like those white parents that sit there and you think they're drinking water, but they're drinking wine the whole time. I
Or
was
a White
drunk.
Claw.
Oh, girl, I was lit. Oh, girl.
Well, let's introduce our guest. We have here today at Parlor Talk none other than Enya Garcia. Welcome to
Yes.
Parlor Talk. I'm
She's
excited
an
about
entrepreneur,
today.
babe. Yeah, I
Yes.
am too to have her.
Yes. So, little fun fact: Enya is my daughter's best friend.
Dope. And Emmy used to do my lashes and facials when she first officially started. She was my client too,
Oh,
before
nice.
she even built like the whole Emmy empire that she got
Yes.
going on right now.
Thanks to you too. You gave me a lot.
Oh, thank you. I try.
See?
I appreciate that.
See, true woman empowerment. And
Yes.
that's what I like. But back to Slowdown. It was amazing.
Yes.
It was great.
How was everybody dressed?
Oh, it
The
was
all white,
hot.
like goddess shit. she said it was hot.
It was hot.
So you had tit sweat and
Everybody
everything.
came.
Tit sweat, everything.
Everybody came prepared. Yeah, like the outfits were on point.
Yes.
Like there were a couple of people, and not everybody dressed all white. So since we were,
So I could have came after I struggled the whole time in
So-
Sarasota to find an all white
no, no,
party.
no.
So what happened is, since you didn't abide by the dress code, you got pulled in and got called out on Parlor Talk.
we sure did.
Oh, embarrassing.
And somebody called. Who was the guy that was in the back that called us messy?
Stop it. They called you messy?
Because of the questions that we was asking.
What kind of questions were they?
So it was kind of like last minute. So we had help from producer over there about some spicy questions. And it's like, well, one question was, what R&B song helps you in the bedroom?
Oh, I can tell you real quick, Pretty Ricky. I lost my virginity to the whole Pretty Ricky Blue album. Like,
See, I'm so old school that I made my first child to Luis Miguel romances. Like,
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
oh my
Who's
God.
that?
That's
So
a Hispanic thing. I don't know. Because I think of
any real Hispanics will know who Luis Miguel is.
So Be It.
Of course, and very much doing concerts.
Really?
It's just love ballads in Spanish.
Oh, because I think of, I'm not going to lie, I know people are not
me
too
out.
fond of him, but I think of R. Kelly. I think of Keith Sweat. I think
Yep.
of Usher.
Yes.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. And in my drop top.
Yeah.
Cruising
Ooh, I
the
saw him in
streets.
Vegas. Oh, we should do a
Wait.
Vegas
I am so
trip.
down.
And then we also had another one.
What?
What R&B strong is best to strip to?
I definitely say
So now we had a-
Beyonce
we had
Dance
a
for
lot
You.
of girls.
A lot
Yes.
of people.
Oh my God! You know, I'm not gonna lie, to get off a subject a little bit, but I did a striptease for my ex-fiance on that. And I was waiting for 4 years. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was mad nervous. You think
Yes.
being with somebody for 4 years,
No,
but
you
that was
still-
something that wasn't normal to me
'cause
because I'm a
it's
real
more
big tomboy.
intimate.
Yes. Well, I took like 5 shots of Patron. I smoked 2 joints to the face. So by the time he got home, I was fucking lit. And
Were
he
you
goes,
even able to dance after all
bitch,
that?
you know when I practiced this dance on this damn thing on this dance, and I was like, oh, I got this. I put the chair out. Tell me why I had a whole joint in my hand. I went to pass it to him to like put my leg over his body, and I burnt his whole face. And he had a beard. It went, and he was like, stop, don't stop, don't stop. I'm like, but I burnt you. You're like, don't stop. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking about the choreographer the whole time. That was my shit, dance for you. Oh, I should have been there.
Yes.
I should have been there.
But I think the reason they called us messy was
because we was also starting
kept
shit.
asking our guest, like the people we were interviewing, we were asking them who do they think was going to win the verses. And most of those people are very close to both DJs. So, but I'm going to say here,
From the ones who attended.
I believe it is my personal opinion that DJ Smash won.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I've been, I'm a ladies' lady, so I'm like, yeah. But DJ Smash plays music that I be singing to both of them, and it's just a vibe.
The first one that I went to, which was the one before this one, I'm gonna give it to Shorty. Shorty definitely hands down won that. But this last one,
Definitely Smash.
it was no question. It was like
Remember,
not even a question.
They switched. So
Oh, that's true. So she was playing the men and he was playing the women.
Yes.
Oh,
and
dope.
he killed it. He had every song that you knew.
Yep.
I wish I was there.
But don't worry because
there's another one coming.
there's another one coming.
And there is a theme.
Yes.
For this one.
Yes. And I'm excited.
What is the theme this time?
We're going to Hawaii.
I thought it was beach.
It's a beach theme.
and
It's like
you
a
have to
luau.
wear a bathing suit.
Stop it.
And I'm already
I ain't got enough ass for that.
I'm already imagining those machines with the bubbles.
I was about to say bubble machine, the foams and shit.
A foam machine.
Well, damn. Then I got about like 3 weeks to get back in shape
I know,
because I've been
I'm like-
eating, girl. When I've been eating.
Listen,
I've been enjoying myself.
They're gonna get all this. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly. This is what they're gonna get. Because at this point, we don't have enough time to hit the gym.
Oh my
and
God,
get
when's the
toned
next
up.
one officially?
It's August 20th. So we do have a little time.
Oh no, I have enough time to twerk this ass. I got enough time. I'm gonna be in a whole thong.
Salad diet for the rest
Salad
of
and fucking chicken.
All right, so I'm gonna remind you every day.
Please
slow down,
do.
August 20th.
Please do, because
Slow
I'm starting the
down.
gym tomorrow.
Okay.
Because today I was supposed to start it, but I'm gonna go watch the sunset today because the sunset's supposed to be at 8:15. Sundown
Sundown.
at 8:15. I checked the calendar today.
All right. Oh.
Look at Icey. We really don't have you on the
Let me tell you
thing.
something.
I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you.
Let me tell you, even Icey was dancing.
Stop it.
I swear to
Icey got
God.
moves.
He does. He does.
He was like a robot move. Or
No. He was actually dancing. Like he was good. But anyway, so all right, so let's get to the dirty. First of all, please tell everybody what you do, what your business name is, and a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Enya Hernandez, and I own a med spa. So I do a lot of facials, waxing, lashes. It's here in the Cape. It's called Enya Garcia Aesthetics. A little bit about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She's single, ready to mingle. No,
chill.
join me to my lover girl era. I'm just kidding. Sometimes. A little bit about myself. I'm 25. I'm really into my job right now. I just like to work out and be at home. There's nothing really interesting about me.
Hey, that's interesting enough
That
because you're
is.
25, you're an entrepreneur, which speaks volumes.
Yes.
I opened my first business when I was 22 years old, hair artistry when I was 23. So it speaks volumes. Like, when did you officially start this business that you...
I was 20, 21.
Exactly. You don't see 20 and
No.
21-year-olds managing their own businesses and really bringing their life together. And seeing you, that I have known you for, God, I've been owning hair artistry for almost 7 years. I've known you for a little bit about the same time. You have developed a lot in that time. Like, you have been up and you have changed your whole life in general. And I remember you coming in and asking me little things about how do you run a business, what I'm supposed to do, am I supposed to hire somebody or anything? And you've done it. So you should be very, very proud of yourself. You do have a good life going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you live on your own. You support yourself. Like, how many 25-year-olds now do that? You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I'll tell you, shit, this generation, let's just talk about it. I'm going to say it right now. This generation is going to like blah because I am a business owner. So I hire and I have 2 businesses now. And between the ages of 17 to 27, 28, I even have a person I just let go that's in her 30s, late 30s.
Wow.
There is no customer service. There's no work ethic anymore. People feel very entitled at this age. Like it's supposed to just be handed to you. Let me be an IG model. Let me sell whatever on the OnlyFans page and I'm going to make money. But I'm very old school. I was raised by a single mother. So I've learned to hustle, and it's very hard to find what you are doing right now.
Exactly.
And you should take a lot of pride in that because I have fired and hired and I will fire again, Mitch, real quick. There is no work ethic at all. People think it's given to them, and it comes from, you have to come from the ground up, from nothing.
100% you appreciate it more.
Yeah. And you have to keep working. And it's not something that's going to be given to you within 3 months, not 6 months, not even a year. Because scientifically, it takes about 3 years for you to really push your business off and start profiting off of that.
Year 4.5, and I feel like I'm starting all over again
Yeah.
now. So it's like,
Especially since the hurricane.
well, the hurricane, my divorce, like,
Ooh.
yeah.
So how old were you when you got a divorce?
Wait, well, how old were you when you got married?
I was 22 when I got married, so a year into my business, and I was 24 when I got divorced.
Okay.
Do
So,
you go ahead. Go ahead.
would you like to share the reasons for the divorce?
Yeah, that's fine. I got divorced because I was abused. I'm open to talking about it now, but it was really hard to walk away because I really wanted my marriage to work, obviously. And we got married young. I wanted more out of life, and he just wasn't it. Like, pressing charges on your brother-in-law is not ideal, on your mother-in-law is not. It was wild. It was really wild, and I needed to get myself out of it.
So the abuse was physical?
So with his brother and his mom, physically, with my ex-husband, we would pretty much just throw things at each other, and it's just because I was always scared. With him, it was more like mentally and verbally abuse. So it was.
And I would say, like, a lot of people, we all talk about physical abuse, but that mental abuse is worse sometimes.
Yes.
I'd rather you hit me, and it's a weird way to say that, but I'd rather get beat than mentally be drained, because that mental stays for years. Because I was engaged for 4 years, and I ended it 2 months before my marriage because of that mental abuse was so draining, and it makes you second guess who you are.
Yes.
It stays lingering for years. So still to this day, I am still healing from it, because you start learning that you might not think you're toxic, but because you've been through that, your toxicity does come.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get rid of that, because you have to rebrand yourself. You have to re-know who you are, re-love yourself, rebuild your whole life. Because your whole life, when we become wives or fiancés, we become compatible to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as much as you don't think it, you talk like them, act like them, sleep like them. Like,
Well, I always say
everything.
that. So, physically, right? The women, the vagina is a reservoir, right? So you receive and you guard, right? And a penis, it deposits.
Yeah.
It inserts, it deposits. So the women always keep whatever energy enters her.
Well, definitely.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
They
that.
always say that
Energy.
when you have sex, be careful who you have sex with, because when you
Exactly.
do lay with somebody, when men or women, you take that energy from them. And if they have demons that they're fighting, their bad energy, you will naturally linger. So say if you have sex with them and your energy is completely high, you're a natural high person. I am that person. I'm always up. If I have sex with somebody and they drain me, their energy was not good.
Yes.
If I have sex and I'm like ready to conquer the fucking world afterwards, oh baby, you were good for me. You were amazing
Yes.
for me. And those are little things that people need to pay attention to. Like, this new generation is just sleeping with everybody at
Yes.
this point.
Oh my God,
And
yeah.
it is very hard to contain in life and keep moving after you're sexually with somebody.
Yep.
Yes.
And it takes a lot for you to leave that. And
Absolutely.
God, there's been some times that it is hard just to get away. And it's in your mental state for years. It can stay in there for a year, 6 months. Some people move on very fast, but then they're naturally ready to sleep with somebody.
Yes.
And it just because what's the old saying? go under a body and you move on from the last body. That's what they say, which is, and you'll be surprised. I'm a hairstylist, so I hear a lot of this stuff. They're like, if to get over your man, you want to sleep with somebody and then you forget about them. But you're just taking multiple energies and not even realizing you're not healed from the first one.
Yeah. Well, I want to applaud you because it takes a lot. And you guys didn't have any kids, correct?
No, luckily we didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very happy we didn't. But it was a very draining marriage. It got to a point where I couldn't see my family anymore. I didn't talk to Jayleen, my best friend, for months, and it was really exhausting. And it was really embarrassing too, because I remember she was the first person I called when I made my choice. I remember I was sitting in my kitchen dinner table, and I was like, yeah, so I know we haven't spoken in months, but I think I'm gonna leave. Like, I think it's time. And she was just like shocked. I remember her kids were crying in the back, and she was like, hold up. But I think she always knew what was going on, because she's the one who actually told me not to marry him.
Wow.
I remember we were in my old spa. I had a storefront on Santa Barbara, and I remember we were in the back, and she straight up told me, like, she grabbed my hands and she was like, please don't marry him. Like, you have so much going for you, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I was like, no, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And yeah, so it was really embarrassing to call her. I remember like crying and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't want to talk to her afterwards either, because I was like, how do I tell my best friend who told me something? Like, damn, I'm in this hole now.
But a real best friend's going to stick there through
But
no
she
matter
stood by
what.
my side. She stood by my side for sure. Like, she helped me through a lot.
That's a blessing. Because a lot of friends, you start losing yourself. You lose family into relationships like that, friends. And real friends will understand and give you that space and that boundaries.
Yeah.
And a lot of friends
crazy
don't.
is that they're very similar. They're the same sign. When's your birthday?
We're Virgos. I'm in August 23rd.
And my daughter's September 5th. And when they get together, I don't want to be around. They're so loud. Yeah. And they talk so fast. And they talk so much. So one of my daughter is enough. When they're together, I'm like, all right, peace.
That's it. Got to go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you don't even want to know what happened at the mall yesterday.
You guys went to the mall yesterday?
Yeah, we did. We went to the mall, and we were in like Bed Bath & Beyond, or what is it called? Like Bath Body Works.
Bath and Body Works.
And we saw these like two ladies, and one of them, I guess, like saw the other lady, and she was like, "Señorita," like I guess they haven't seen each other in a while, and the other one's like, "Ah!" And then we both looked at each other, Jaylene and I, and we're like, these ladies are crazy. We walked down a little bit more aisles down, and we start mimicking them, and people
I was like,
look
y'all
at us
probably
like,
going to be done when you get older.
yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can definitely see them. Yes.
Yeah, she's like a sister to me for sure.
That's amazing that you got through that. So where you feel like you are now after everything?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where I am now. I'm kind of just going with the flow because I'm healing a lot. I'm honestly healing too much sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming because I get a lot of stuff where it like brings back memories, and I think that's the hardest part is like when a lot of memories come. Yes, yeah. I had some times where like friends and I are just like messing around, or we're out and about, and like someone will like lift up their hand and I still flinch. Like, so I'm going to a lot of therapy. Therapy is a lot. I should put that in my divorce. Pay for my therapy.
Yes.
But therapy is very important because in a Puerto Rican household, we don't believe in that.
Nope.
We don't believe in
Hispanic,
talking
Hispanic
Hispanic.
culture, period.
We don't believe in talking outside of our house because our problems are our problems.
Yeah.
But it is very good to do so. And I
love
decided
therapy.
to do that when I was like 22, 23, after I left and I became a hairstylist. I was already in hair school and I paid for myself out of pocket. Yeah. And it's very expensive. But talking to somebody that has no type of connection.
Non-biased.
Yes.
It's that
It is
non-biased
it's very
opinion.
healing because you can't talk to your friends about it. They're always going to pick your side. Family, same thing. And honestly, you need that. You need somebody to tell you when you're right and when you're wrong. And
And not
to
only
move
that, but
from
give
there.
you tools to how to move
Yes.
forward.
Yes.
You are Latina. So I'm very curious because you said that for a while you didn't get to talk to your family. Like having a daughter, like I don't see how that will even be.
oh, it happens. I
like
did it.
I couldn't.
Well, my mom is the type of mom, like she is very quiet. So she does not like get involved in stuff. So pretty much because he's a pilot, he works for American Airlines. And when he was gone, pretty much I would just like leave my phone at home and like kind of run over to my mom. I remember even putting like sticky notes on the Ring camera and stuff so he wouldn't see me.
Oh my God.
And
That's serious.
yeah, like
So he was tracking your phone.
yeah, of course, 100%. I was just being manipulated, and it was always his family, never mine. Like, it was just so exhausting because it's like I really didn't get to talk to my mom like before.
I'm getting mad all over again because this.
Yeah, well, she knows.
This
Yeah.
mofo went to my house and I didn't know none of this. Had I known all this,
Well, your husband did notice. Your husband
He
did notice
did.
because he told Jaylene, and I remember Jaylene like kind of like told me a little bit, but she didn't want to say it out front, like to be disrespectful. And I think he noticed that because then remember after that you guys had a couple more like get-togethers, and then he was like, "No, we can't go because this and that," or like, "We gotta
my
travel."
husband gave him the 3rd degree. I thought my husband was
Yes.
just being like a protective, old school dad.
Yeah.
And I thought he was like exaggerating. He's like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
But you know what? It happens, and it's good for other people to see that because we don't notice that. Even with my engagement, my ex-fiance, he took me away from my family, and it was so very gentle that he did it that I didn't
I was
even
gonna say
realize
you don't
that.
notice it.
No.
You don't notice it at all.
And that's what I missed the most. That the moment I let him go, I moved back in with my brother, and we both helped each other heal. And damn, that family time, you don't even realize is so important just to be around people that you love and you feel you can be yourself.
Yes.
Because no matter what, we are business women. So there's a certain composure and image we
Way
have
you
to
have to
portray
carry yourself.
24/7. And I don't go on Facebook when something's going wrong because I'm my business. And with home, they know you from when you were a baby to your teenage days. So they saw your ratchet shit and they saw how you developed. And that part you can kind of just breathe. And man, was that the most healing thing that I ever went through is to have my family back. And that's the one thing that I promised myself, that any relationship I get into, I wouldn't lose myself.
Yeah.
You have to find a good balance, and it's very hard to find.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Next time I'm ever with anybody, they have to be a family person. My family has to love them. Like they have to love my family because I'm not doing that again. So I actually moved back into my home where my mom gifted me a home, and we all moved in together. And it has felt so good to be at home, like just to have my mom next to me.
Yes.
Like I really took advantage of that when I was younger because I'm like, dude, it feels so good to wake up and like my mom's there. You know, I feel safe.
yeah.
I feel like, happy, like for sure.
Shit, I just missed the home cooked meals. Shit.
No, my mom don't cook. What? No, like she cooks, but for her and my grandma, and I'm like, I don't want it. So.
Shit, I missed. I come home and my mama cooked me home cooked meals. I had my clothes folded, smelling like freaking Gain and Downy, and I'm just like,
no, I'm not
like,
doing
who
all
is
that.
this?
My daughter moved back in and I ain't doing all that. No.
No, yeah, but I love being home. It's nice.
So
that's
are you
what's up.
currently dating?
I'm open to the idea of dating, but I'm not rushing into anything. Kind of just taking it slow because I'm the type of person that I'm like, all right, I'll get to the point. Let's see if we're compatible. Like, do you have a good job? How much money you make? Like, because believe it or not, money is huge.
Yeah.
Like, my ex-husband's a pilot, and people thought he made more money than me, and I'm like, no, dude, I tripled in what he made.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Because he was just getting started too, right?
he was getting started and he had a lot of debt. So like, and he didn't know how to manage his money. So that's the next thing I ask. I'm always like, all right, if you don't make as much as me, like, do you know how to manage your money? Like, do you believe in God? Like, do you like to go to church? Like, these are my standards. Like,
Yes.
What kind of car do you drive? Like, how do you like to dress? Like, who do you hang out with? Like,
All those very important.
like, and then people are like, oh, like, you just like to rush things. I'm like, no, I don't have time to waste, dude. I'm 25 and I'll blink and I'll be 40. Like,
oh my God,
and
you're
with
so
that
dramatic.
age, but you do need to have
but it
those
is true,
standards.
though.
I like the fact that you have standards because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of females nowadays
don't.
don't have standards and they'll just. I don't want to date nobody with kids, but then a guy with kids. Oh, but he's such a good father, and they're like, oh, okay.
You
And
let
I'm
go
like,
of your boundaries. It's
let go of
boundaries
your-
that you put on yourself, and you have to go with that. There's a list of things that I'm not gonna lie. I used to look at people like they were like, "Oh my, you bougie bitch," like you want too much. But when you're at a certain level, you expect somebody to be either at the same level or a little bit more. Or a slight bit less, because there are people that women do develop a little bit faster than men, but just naturally. But what can you offer me to better myself if you don't have that financial stability like I do? And I'm a business owner,
And
so a lot of
let's
men
help each other build.
and
It's
a lot
not
of
about
men
being
are
a
not
gold
going to
digger.
match that at a young age.
When my daughter went on, I think it was, I don't know if it was the second or third date with her now husband, she asked for his credit score. his social security number.
Damn, she went hard because I didn't even ask.
Yo, if you haven't met Jaylee, she's crazy. But good crazy, because look at her now.
So
she be living it up.
she definitely told him from the get, because my daughter had good credit, and she's like, and I've taught my kids how important credit is in this country. And she's like, I have plans, I have goals, and if you don't have good credit, I need to know why. That's not a deal breaker, but I need to know why. And
how can we build that together?
Exactly.
Because once you get married, you take everybody
Yes.
else's debt.
Exactly.
And that's what they
Oh my
realize.
God, don't remind me of
And
that.
man, that is the biggest thing. Even my boyfriend and I have talked about that. Because he's a single dad. He's never owned a business, but he's a barber, so he's in the same industry as me. But I'm a self-sufficient business owner. And being a business owner, we are in debt naturally because you're putting everything that you have into business. But it's like still, this is my goals.
Yeah.
What is your goal in 5 years? Where do
Yeah.
you see yourself? And if it matches where we're at, okay, we're going to make it work. If not, let me transition you. If you can't, you're not willing to be flexible.
Yes.
As in me too, to be flexible. Because the women has to understand that we need to
Exactly.
be flexible just as much as men. We do ask for a lot. And men, they're bare minimums. They really
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about half of the stuff we care about. But if we can build together and become a power couple, that is the biggest blessing.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to find a 10. You're just
No.
not.
No.
In this generation, unfortunately, yeah, it happens. I'm a single mother. There are men with kids.
Yes.
It's very hard to find somebody under the age of 20 years old without a kid now. It is just life.
horrible. And that's
even
horrible.
marriage, because people are getting married very young if they're in the army or if they're at a certain level, they're just jumping. And
Yes.
then the divorce rate is so freaking high because they see this peaches and cream, but it's something that you have to work on. There
It's a
are going to be
constant
tribulations
day-to-day.
in a relationship. Yes, you have to fall in love with that person every single day. There are sometimes I can't stand my man.
Or kill him every day.
I can't stand him, but I have
I've
to
been
wake
married
up and
29 years,
remember
and I keep saying it.
why I,
I
fell
don't
in love
always
with
like
him.
him, but I'm always
But I
in
love
with
him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like there's not going to be just flowers every single day. And what can we fight over? There's assholes, just like bitch. Like females are bitches. I'm a woman. I will say that we're very emotional naturally. So what are they able to deal with, and what can we deal with? And you just got to take it for what it is. You're just never gonna find a 10. You're just not.
But that's the whole point, is to like help each other build. Like,
Exactly.
You can't. I'm not perfect. Like obviously I have flaws and stuff, but that's what makes me perfect.
Exactly. Exactly. It's being raw in your own skin.
Yeah.
And just being very blunt with somebody and
Yeah.
giving it out on the table. Like stop faking the funk. We have Instagram and Facebook to fake the funk. We can all
Yeah.
take pictures and make everything look very nice and beautiful. But who are you inside? Your personality is everything. You can go and buy an ass now. You can buy titties. But what is that gonna do for you? If your soul is ugly, baby, you're ugly outside.
Yes.
And that goes for men too. So we
Yep.
really have to look a little
Both
past that.
sides.
Stop being so what is the word? There's a word for it. Is it self-centered? I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. I'll look for it. I'll have it for the end of the day.
You got it in the back of your
Yeah,
head.
I got it. It's like right here, like right on my tongue. It's right there. But there's a certain word for it that we just go for that one thing, and you can't have that. How many women my brother have dated? He's 26 years old, has his own house, career, barber, boxer, everything. They see the image,
Yeah.
but they want to marry that image because like, oh my God, he's gonna be famous. He's gonna be this. He's gonna be that. But what do you have to offer too? Like you really have to think about that. And God forbid if he breaks his leg today or his arm, will you still love him?
Yes.
Well, there women nowadays, like they just expect everything handed to them, but they have nothing to offer.
Girl, they want Gucci bags and
Yeah.
fucking Prada.
Like, go buy that your
But
damn
baby,
self.
can you buy it? That's
Yes.
the question.
That is the question.
Whatever you
Yes.
ask a man, can you buy it yourself? And if you
Exactly.
can't purchase it yourself, stop asking the next man for to buy it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
when
And
my
it's that
ex-husband would call
simple.
me a gold digger, I'm like, boy, I could go buy it myself. I remember one time he bought me a Louis Vuitton bag. Oh my gosh, this Louis bag was like almost $4,000. I remember he got a bonus and he was like, oh, I'm going to go get you the bag you want, right? I didn't ask how much the bonus was or whatever. This man, tell me how when I got home, I look in my safe, $2,000 of my money was gone. I was like, so technically I bought myself the bag.
So he wait.
He took your money.
Yeah, he
to
took my
buy-
cash to buy me a bag. And I'm like, I pretty much bought myself the bag.
Ew.
I know.
That is so unattractive.
Yeah, I know. It's like, if you're
Are
poor,
you
just tell me.
serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
No, dead ass.
I'm
Literally.
speechless
Like, dude.
because
And he told you he was gonna buy for you.
Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, but your money is my money and my money is your money. I'm like, oh no, my honor, boy.
Then in that case, I don't want the bag.
I don't want the bag, but whatever.
I mean,
Wait, do you
did
still
he
have the
give you
bag?
receipt?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And of course, I never sold any of my bags.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shit, I would have.
There was one point actually during my divorce that I considered of selling them because our divorce was really nasty. He took money out of my business account, my
Wow.
personal account. I had to sell my wedding ring to get my apartment at that time because at that time I didn't want to live with anybody. I wanted to be alone. I needed to be alone. And I remember I was crying my eyes out at FedEx because I did not want to sell my ring so fast. And I had to sell it to get my apartment.
Wow.
Yeah. He left my business account with $3,000. Yeah.
Wow.
He took money. Well, I mean, he ended up having to give it back to me and I cashed out big time in my divorce. But yeah, it was crazy. Like I almost considered selling my bags to just survive at one point.
Wow.
Man,
And then going to work depressed was not easy. Like mentally, it was really hard.
Especially since you work in the beauty industry.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So speaking, since you work in the beauty industry and you're in there as well, what do you guys think about Jackie
I've seen that all over my
passed
TikTok.
away
I think it's very sad.
because of plastic surgery?
So Miss Jackie was what's his name?
She was part of
DC Young Fly,
Yeah.
the comedian, and she was also on the show
Wildin' Out.
Wildin'
Wildin'
Out.
Out.
She was a model, like an Instagram model, and she was in Wildin' Out. They had 4 kids together.
And young.
very young.
The
All
youngest one,
under
I
the
think, is
age
6
of,
months.
under the age of
Wow.
And she went to get a mommy makeover, and she passed away.
They found her in her hotel, unresponsive, and they tried to get her back. And I think being in the beauty industry, we have to all remember that beauty comes within. This social media has definitely put a fake persona that women have to go get work done to feel good about themselves. And unfortunately, the men in our lives, they do like this stuff. They're on social media double tapping on women with fake booties, fake titties. And we have to understand that women are built to have kids. Our body is naturally going to change. Your tits going to drop. Your stomach's going to sag a little bit. But this is the beauty of being a mother.
And bringing
There's
life.
changes. Yes, it's bringing life.
And breastfeeding will make your boobs sag.
Yeah, naturally.
But you fed a human being. Like only a woman can do that.
Yeah.
So I think when I saw that and then I saw the pictures of her babies, like my heart broke.
Oh, mine did too.
My heart broke because and I'm a person that I've had plastic surgery. After my weight loss, I've had plastic surgery, and it breaks my heart that at 6 months, because it takes a year after any surgery.
Legally,
it takes
they
a
shouldn't
year.
have even allowed her to do that.
And the thing is that she had a reputable, she had a reputable surgeon that has done surgery on her before, that is very strict with his patients. He doesn't do surgery if your BMI is over a certain. He makes sure you get your cardiology, because I did research on the doctor, because I wanted to see if it was like a botched job. But no, it's just that
Unfortunately, her body couldn't take it.
her body couldn't take it, because it takes up to a year for your body to fully recover after
Yes.
delivering a baby.
I say that.
After having a surgery, any type of surgery.
Even hair. My clients come in after having a baby and they're still telling me that they're having
hair's
postpartum.
thinning, yeah.
Their hair's thinning, they're falling out, they're doing this naturally through chemo, birth. Anything changes, even if you're on thyroid medicine,
Yes.
freshly. You have to understand it takes about a full year, even a year and a half to 2 years for your hair and body to go back to normal.
Normal.
And we shouldn't be, because of these standards, women are more prone to doing this.
Yes.
And honestly, so be it to all the women that have done it and it looks beautiful. I think a natural body is beautiful. And it's so unique because people are coming out of Miami looking like they're coming out of like Chinese chop chops. Like they look all identical.
They're all like identical.
Yeah.
Like, was that an assembly line?
Yes, they look like that. And honestly, because if you look at the girls, the women we have here, we're all so different but so beautiful. And men appreciate that. Me being the only girl Camacho in the family, I deal with my brother and all his homeboys, and he's hundreds of them. I'm usually the only girl in the whole club and VIP with them. And they will go and smash a girl with a fake booty and titties. But when you really listen to their conversations, they will not wife one because they want something natural. They don't want to feel hard ass titties. They don't want to have hard ass. And we're doing it, even lashes. And I know you're an esthetician. Men are saying, I never looked at a woman and said, I want a woman with long lashes. They don't.
No.
We're doing it for ourselves, but at the same time, we're doing it because we're seeing that on the industry and we're thinking that's beautiful.
Social media.
Baby, you are beautiful.
And,
like the skin that you're
it's
growing
also
is
too
beautiful.
going back to like how you said about the guys, because you hear them, damn, she's fine.
Yeah,
damn,
but they won't wife
she's
them.
this, damn, she's that. So then it automatically, as a female, it programs your mind.
To think that's what I need to look at.
I also think that there's a lot of younger females that grew up without dads, and they're looking for that attention.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking for that.
The daddy figure.
Yeah, they're looking for. They have daddy issues.
Shit, I got daddy issues.
We all got daddy.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with my dad, so I know I had daddy issues.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, they're looking for love in the wrong places. They think that if they look a certain way and they get all these likes and all this attention, then that's positive. And when in reality it's not, because they're liking something that you are not.
Yeah.
Like when I went to my get my surgery, the surgeon told me to bring a picture or something so he can have a reference of what I thought I wanted to look like. I brought a picture of me when I was 15. Dead ass. I said, this is what I looked like when I was 15, 16 years old. Can you get me back to that? And he did. I don't mind telling people. Everybody knows I had surgery because I tell everybody, but I didn't want to look like I had surgery.
Yeah, very natural.
You know I wanted, I'm short. I can't have a shelf, because then I would look like a
I'm sorry, but half of these people are like, sorry, voice almost gave out. What's that? Ant life or something?
Yes.
Bug life?
Bug life with ants.
Ants. Oh my God, that's what half of these people look like. And it's not cute. But if you really think about it, look at social media, how much has changed since 2010, 2011 when BBLs came big. Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians was like the main prodigy for this.
And to me, that
look at them. They're taking their asses out. They ain't got no BBL no more.
Even Black China.
Even Black China's taking out.
She took her ass
But
out?
do you have
everything?
Everything.
Took out her,
Took
her
everything.
Yes, her cheek lifts, everything.
her lips.
She is back to natural.
She doesn't even want to be associated with Black China anymore.
Yeah, she is back to
gone
Angela.
her real name.
And she looks absolutely gorgeous naturally. And that's the problem that these young girls are seeing, that they need to look a certain image. But do you have the money to reverse it the way these do? Now, what are you going to look like in 10 years? Because that ass going to deflate. Them titties you have to redo.
If you didn't work out back then, you have to keep working out after
that
BBL.
part.
Then they don't do it, and then it just
That's-
sucks.
And now you look like a linebacker.
And that's why a lot of women have complications because they go and then they're not happy and then they go for another one and then they go and they keep going.
It's addicting.
It's an
like
addiction.
tattoos
Oh,
are.
yeah.
I say this to everybody. A tattoo is addicting. Because I started with my ankle. And then from there, I wanted another one. And I wanted another one. I got my face tattooed. I got my lip tattooed. I got places you don't want to know that. But it is naturally addicting. You don't even notice it. Just
But
like
see,
being
I
under
think
the
it
knife
also
is.
has to do with your personality, because I have 2 tattoos and they were specific for specific remembrance that I wanted, and I've never had another one after that. I had plastic surgery. I did my surgery, only one surgery. That's it. I'm done. Like whatever's
some
not
people are
tucked,
not like
whatever's
that.
not tucked, nipped, or whatever somebody else feels like it should be. Like I didn't get my arms done. I didn't get my inner thighs done, but I didn't feel like I needed it. I'm fine.
You look like a bad bitch. I tell you that. You look snatched.
I want to look in the mirror and like what I see.
Exactly.
And then after what I like, I just want my husband to like it. That's the only 2 that matter to me. First me, and then my husband.
But unfortunately, people are not like that and don't want to stop.
That's
and we've
crazy.
seen that. Like there's a girl that wanted to be looking like a Barbie and her titties are like a freaking H.
And then they're
F.
hitting her chin.
Yeah, and then the titties are deflating because it just popped. And I'm just like, I watched that botch show.
Botch, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that has made me never, because I'm not gonna lie, I breastfeed. I breastfed. And like little raisins, like they don't suck the raisins out the while. Not the body that I had when I had him at 19, so you would think it would snap back. But at the same time, watching that has made me love myself too, because I'm like, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to deal with the health issues, and God forbid something happens.
Yep.
And so be it to the women that have, because
Can it go a little deeper than that? Is it surgery or is it
Oh, it's a mental.
It's
confidence.
a
everything.
confidence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a confidence, and it's a lack of.
Especially
Yeah.
in front of the mirror.
Yes. And there's a word for it. What is that? It's like a phobia. But you see yourself and you're never good enough. And it's something because there's a girl
Body
named
dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia. There's a girl named Marina. She goes by Rena, and she is a esthetician. She does lashes. She does nails. Bitch is fire. She is probably the best in Southwest Florida that I have seen. I've done a lot of people's hair, and a lot of them are my clients. The best body job I've ever seen in my life. She got lipo, her booty lifted, mommy makeover, her arms, everything, but very proportional. But she was naturally bodied before she had kids. Looks gorgeous. I ain't gonna lie, she made me think twice. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's a bad
Let me
bitch.
get the number.
But at the same time, I know girls that she hang out with that have done the same thing. Complete opposites.
Well, let me tell you this.
all
So
about
a
taking
surgery can only do but so much.
That part.
Like, you can't expect a doctor to create you a body. You have to give the doctor something to work with.
Exactly.
To begin with.
Exactly.
There's people that were naturally skinny, right? So their legs are skinny. But then they want to have this
You
big
would have ass and thighs, and then you ain't got
I'm
nothing
like,
proportion.
That doesn't even out. Like, whatever, you need to take a little bit less from here and put it more like just be proportioned. If women
Proportion.
kept to being proportioned to their size and their body type, because there's different body types.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't look so obvious.
And if you do it for yourself, so be it. Some people do it. They have problems with their chest because they're very small chested and they don't want
Or
to let
heavy.
the baby boy. Yeah, or they're too heavy.
Or they're
that
too
it
heavy,
hurts
so they
their
have
back.
to do a reduction.
Yes. So be it. Like, I'm not saying like anybody is wrong for choosing what they want to choose, but choose it for the right reasons and do your history on it and do your research.
Research the doctor.
Yes.
Make sure that, unfortunately, Miss Jackie, this happened to her, and, our condolences to her family.
Yes.
But now those 4 kids are going to grow up without a mother because she wanted to be snatched.
Yeah. And she was fire. I don't care. She was beautiful.
She looked great.
Yeah. For having those kids too.
Yes.
Like,
But
no.
unfortunately, you don't know what was going on in her mind as to why she did
Yeah.
it again, and that's the real issue that nobody speaks about. Is
at the same time,
mental self-esteem.
But they should be going through a psychologist before getting this done.
Yes.
Just like they give you a certain period of time to make sure your health is where it needs to be at. You can't smoke, you can't drink, you can't do this. Your blood pressure has to be a certain way.
your BMI
you should
needs to
have to go to a psychologist and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons too.
But you
I
can
agree.
lie.
To a certain extent.
But a psychiatrist, they should be able to tell.
Yeah.
Because
know.
I will tell you this. For my surgery for the gastric sleeve, I had to go see a psychologist.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
And I lied.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What did you lie about? How'd you lie?
I mean, he was just asking. I don't remember the questions because it was like over 2 years ago. But I mean, basically, and trying to, I guess, make sure that I was doing it for the right reasons. I mean, which I was. I had asthma all my life, so I was tired of that shit. But it was more like, if like addiction issues. Technically, as a bigger person, you have some type of an addiction issue.
You're addicted to food.
You're addicted to food, or your depression kicks in, and that's your go-to. Just certain questions that he asked, and it was just like, we did it over the phone. I didn't even go into the office.
Wow.
It was
but then
a
again, this
phone.
was during COVID too, right?
I think right before COVID had
Yeah.
kicked in. I was driving home from work on the phone with the psychologist
Yeah, see, that's
to
not
get
even...
to get
Yeah,
my
I think it
clearance.
should be in house.
I think
I
it
was
should be
just
in
like-
person. I think it should be definitely... But then again, we're just now taking mental health serious.
Yeah.
Like our community, the Hispanic community, the African American community. So I think it's going to be a couple of more years before we get there. I think that as women with, avenues like this, like Parlor Talk, talking about it, being open about it, like what you just talked about your marriage, everything you went, that might help somebody that's going through the same thing. I think that we need to talk more about these issues.
Definitely.
Body dysmorphia, plastic surgery, why not? Why should you? All these topics are so important for the women, not only in our community, but in the world, because there's other countries that women don't even have the freedom to speak.
Yeah.
And here we have that liberty and we still don't talk about it. So this is exactly why Parlor Talk was created, because I want these issues to be talked about. I want to be able to reach people and be able to have these conversations where you never know who you're reaching out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it should be open conversations to the point that you don't feel judged. Yeah, there's going to be people that are against this and people are willing to do it. But it should be to the point that you don't get offended. Mm-hmm. And I think this era of generations get offended very fast.
Yes.
There is no backbone no more. Like they automatically take everything to the titty. That's the way I say it.
That's because they started giving participation awards.
That part.
I had participation awards.
That part. No, I don't believe they should have.
I'm sorry. I don't
Even
believe
with
in
baseball, softball, basketball.
I don't know if you're in the mom's.
Oh, I saw that. A parent went on there this week, and I was laughing at it because I was thinking the same thing.
If my son
another post.
There was a post saying that her daughter didn't receive an award, and her teacher said that everybody would have received one because her daughter didn't get it. She felt some type of way because she wouldn't have went. At the end of the day, you have to understand you have to work for certain things in your life,
and you need to show up for your child whether they get an award or not. First of all. Second of all, if your child didn't go above and beyond to deserve an award, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
And that was a problem when it started with baseball back in the day.
Yep.
I remember they were just giving me awards just for participation. Fuck that.
Yes.
You either MVP, you went above and beyond. If not, you don't get one. It is that simple. Exactly. And it hurts your feelings, but it made you want to work harder.
Yeah, and I don't like that whole, they didn't. Oh, who won? I went to my granddaughter's softball game and my granddaughter's team won. And as we're packing up and everything and they're taking pictures, somebody from the other team, like a little girl, she was crying. And as they were walking away, I heard, I'm not sure if it was a parent or grandparent, but they were like, don't worry, honey, you guys all won. This wasn't even a real game. It was just a scrimmage.
Bullshit. Y'all lost. No, you're losers.
Y'all lost.
I'm so bad. About some people, I'm like, loser? Like, it is what it is. Yeah. Yes, like, it is what it is.
It builds character.
It does.
It builds character. And then you learn to lose gracefully. And then you're like, all right, I got you next time.
Yeah, I'm a hustle up.
Exactly.
Well, shit, talking about this baseball thing, I just went through a whole thing about 2 weeks ago to the point that I'm very proud of myself that I didn't bust this woman in her mouth.
I saw that. I reposted it.
I've changed a lot. But bullying is very big.
Yeah.
And I think we need to really cover that because not only with my child, but there was over 600 comments, over 100 and something shares, almost 200 shares on my post that I never expected to get that much play from it because I was just speaking as a parent that I went through it. But bullying is going big time. And in Southwest Florida in general, in the state of Florida, bullying is like, you can't do, it's a charge now. Like you can literally get charged even as a kid, 13, 12 years old.
Good.
That is a misdemeanor in other words. And kids at 10, 11, my mom's a probation officer, juvenile supervisor. Kids are committing suicide right now.
Yep.
And never in my life at 12, 13 years old was my life that hard that I would think about taking my life. But these kids are doing so. Or we're having shootings. No longer are they teaching our kids to hide from hurricanes. They're hiding from shootings now. That is what they're teaching our children. Yep. And now we need to wonder long-term why. Where did it get to that point, to that escalation, to the point that a kid wants to do that? 2 weeks ago at my son's ceremony, I had a 7-year-old. And my son is, mind you, if you don't know who my child is, my son's a big child, okay? I like big men.
He does not look 10.
I like to climb him like a tree. So my son's father is 6'5". And my son is 5'5" at 10 years old. It is not normal. I know it's not normal because I don't even see him. Like he's 10 and a half in men's shoes. But he is still mentally a 10-year-old.
Exactly.
And my son was hit not once, but 3 times in the back with a bat from a 7-year-old. Ooh. My son has known since he was very young that he is bigger than everybody. So I've taught him as a parent how to respect others, not to respond in a very violent manner. And if they're smaller than you, even if they're your age, the first thing you don't do is hit. Because I was kicked out of every Lee County school. I've been to ALC 3 or 4 times. I have lost scholarships from fighting. I like to fight, bitch. Like, come and get me. I am that fighter. But being a business owner in the last 10 years, I have converted everything. And growth. Because you understand what you can lose and how much. And God forbid if I hit somebody back in the day and they hit their head on the cement, that's my life gone. And I never realized that until I got older. When you get older, it happens with growth and experiences and everything. Well, this kid, long story short, hit my son. My son didn't hit him back because he was raised that way. He decided to run after him and play it off. Well, the mom came up to my child and decided to say, if you touch my son, I will beat your ass and get the fuck out of here. Very bluntly.
No, she did not.
Yeah, excuse my language.
You didn't see the post?
Well, was this?
I've
no.
seen
This
the post.
This happened at the ceremony.
This was a week ago.
Yeah.
Well, this was like right before I started to.
This was right before the all white event.
Yeah,
and
so it was
everything
right
that's
before
happened.
my event also. So my head was like.
It was like the week before your event. And I'm there as a mom at this ceremony with baseball players and kids. And my son is having the best time of his life. And honestly, I was in the parking lot with other parents, chilling, hanging out. And all this has escalated without me being there. So I really don't know what has happened. So I was like, kids are gonna be kids. I even brushed it off, and he was dead serious, like very emotional. Like, she told me to get the F out of here, and she cussed at me. So off rip, I look at my mom and look at my aunt. I said, what parent? Tell me the parent, I'm gonna go to her. I didn't go with any hostility because I know my child. Like, any parent that says that your child won't do that, you don't really know your child. We don't know any of our children, because damn sure my mom still don't know who I am when it came down to it back in the day. So I walked up to him very calmly, and he pointed to her, and she was bluntly big fake lips, red lipstick. He described this woman to me, curly hair. So I walk up to him very softly. Hey, can I speak to you real quick about our children? And off rip, she got very defensive. Oh, you talk to me in front of my husband, da 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 da. And I just was like thrown off, because I'm like, did I come harsh? In my own mind, I was like, did I come out defensive? And I looked at him and I was like, I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you as a woman. Because I feel like women should be able to talk to other women. And especially parents. Like, we all have children. We all know how our kids could be. So she got very defensive and very loud. And at that point, my body starts shaking. Like, now my energy is taken off, very off track. And I'm like, nah. I came out very calmly. I'm talking to myself. And I'm literally prepping myself for this. And she kept getting loud. She didn't know you. Whatever you can say in front of my husband. So I look at her husband and very directly in his eye, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. As a woman, we can either mush to the side or we can do it right here. And she got loud again. She escalated. So to me, I'm not the loudest one in the room, but I will pop you dead in your mouth. But we have kids around. So I'm trying to calm myself and do it the right way. And she kept getting louder. And she's like, well, your son, this and that. Your son's big enough that he can take it. And if he touches my child, I'm going to whoop his ass. And girl, when I mean my whole body froze to the point that I had to grab my hand because I didn't trust myself at that moment. And I grabbed my hand and I looked at it. I said, why are you talking so loudly? Like, I'm talking to you as a woman. We can speak about this. And now every parent around us, and mind you, it's like 50 to 100 people. She's being loud. She's asking
causing a scene.
For a scene. And then she starts getting loud. So calmly, my Puerto Rican ass, my hand starts moving. I'm like, you can calm yourself down. Like, I'm not yelling. Calm your voice. And then her husband turns around. Well, I'm part of the board, and you can calm your hands around. And then I looked at him and said, hey, I'm not talking to you. And then my voice got very passive aggressive.
Ask, where's the husband?
Oh yeah, the husband's right next door. Yeah, straight pussy, and he's
literally
he's part of
you hear your wife screaming and
he's part of the board. And at that point, I expect a certain demeanor to be as a leader, and you're a coach that I know of, and you're a teen mom. So this is what we're teaching our kids, and I'm around kids and parents. So at this point, I'm getting a little embarrassed. I'm like, damn. And in my mind, I know I'm different. I'm a young mom. I'm 30 years old. I look like I'm 17, 18 years old. I have tattoos. At that point, I have green hair. So, and a curly green hair. So I am myself just out here. So I look at it, I say, you're gonna calm your voice down. We're gonna talk about this as adults. Your child hit my child. And at the end of the day, if my child wasn't raised the way he was, he would have got beat up. And I don't appreciate that your 14-year-old, and I see the 14-year-old right next to him, so I'm talking to him like this. I don't appreciate your 14-year-old threatening to beat my son's ass in a way you accommodated him and talked to him.
And her.
And her. Yeah, and she looked at me and she starts, her voice went from here to here to here. Then at that point, everything she's saying to me is so irrelevant because I don't hear nothing. I'm just hearing huh? And I looked at her, I said, why are you getting loud? Because you have your cheerleaders around? I said, I don't care about none of them. And she just went directly to defensive mode. Well, your son can take it. He's grown enough to take it. He needs to know better. And if he touches my son, I will call the cops. And I said, oh, go ahead.
You should have called the cops then, because he hit your son.
That part. And that's a battery charge.
Grown enough to take it.
Part.
They're still children at the end of the day.
And teach your kid, and it all starts at home. That's what my post said. Starts at home. And then once I met the parents, I knew exactly why the kid acts like this.
Because look at the mom.
The apple don't fall far from the tree. And I'm ratchet. Oh, am I ratchet? But I've changed so much. Like that Kiki is definitely in here. Don't poke the bear. So I've kept my calm. And at that point, she straight up said, it's you people that act this way.
No, she did not.
Girl, when she said you people, I'm like, who people? Me? Oh, you don't want me. And she like, you don't know me. And very calmly, I said, baby, you really don't know who I am.
Oh, what?
And
What?
I want to know what you people mean.
I want to know what was her people.
What was her people?
Oh, her white.
Okay,
very
Caucasian.
much white.
Okay,
but
So
at that point when she said you
we
people,
had another
back.
meow moment.
Yeah, it was definitely a Karen moment.
So we had another meow
and at that
moment.
moment, I regret not videotaping from the moment I went out. But at that point, I wasn't thinking that. As
of course not, because you didn't go. You didn't go for confrontation.
No, I really went just to have a conversation. Let's talk about this. And why are you speaking to my child the way you are? Just that simple.
Is
like,
this
calm yourself.
child in the same team as your son?
No, he is a team younger than my child. And his dad is the coach for this child, and he's part of the board, and she's a team mom for this. And she just keeps elevating. Then her husband decides to speak up when I start moving my hands. Because now I'm not at this point. She's like, you people, this and that, da, da, da. And I'm looking, at that point, I really caught my composure, and I looked around. And I'm not gonna lie, I looked around to see how many people are around me so I can hit this hoe. Because it's really that simple. Like, now you're coming after my child. You're really belittling him, and my child is here listening to this stuff. And I will never talk about another child like that in front of him. And
never.
Then the husband comes out, and his response was even worse. He's like, you know what? I heard about your child at school. Mind you, nobody really knows. My son has been getting bullied for the last year because of the fact that he's tall and he's bigger. And he's really a big teddy bear. Like, he knows better to hit anything, but he's getting bullied because you're too tall, you're too big, you're not going to play, you're not going to do this, or you got cooties and I'm not going to touch you. So the girls are all doing all this random shit. Whatever, we deal with it. So he's like, oh yeah, I talked to a teacher. We know about your child, and we've been talking about your child between the presidents here. This is all in front of parents. So you're telling me
and
that
in front of the children.
In front of the child. So you're telling me that something that's supposed to be confidential in a school board
is not being discussed.
Is not confidential from that school. Whatever teachers talking to you about my child, and now this has been a big issue. And I looked at him very calmly. I said, that's funny because everybody loves Ivan around here. His own coaches love him. He's an MVP player. Like, he is a very motivational child. He is not a normal 10-year-old. I know he's not. He's big, but he's very, very well educated by the way he talks. And at that point, now I'm getting defensive. And I looked at him. I said, wow, you're a great fucking leader. And at that point, then my mouth starts getting wild. And I was like, you know what? And she said something. She starts walking around. She called me a bitch. And at that point, all bets are off, ho. Like, you have to see me. So I'm like, what's up? Why are you walking away? Come speak to me like a woman since you got so much mouth and you got your cheerleaders around. Come see me in the parking lot, ho. Like, at that point, now I'm going to be exactly that person that you want me to be.
Y'all people.
Y'all people. I'm going to be that y'all people. It wasn't even her mouth that made me mad. It was more of having that 2 times that I looked around and saw parents just watching.
And nobody's stepping up.
Nobody stepped up.
Anything.
Everybody's just watching this. Nobody's defending each other. That is the problem with this generation in this world right now. You are allowing people to come out of pocket and discriminate and literally belittle others. And you have
around
no
kids
stance to stand up for nobody. Your voice is so quiet but so big behind social media.
Yep.
Like, who is going to make the change? If I have to be the person to make the change, and so be it. You can hate me. I'll be the loud voice. But I'm going to do it the right way. And it wasn't by hitting her that day. Because the moment she said you people, I am not going to be put into that category. And because now I'm just a ratchet ass Puerto Rican that's done hit her, and I'm young and I got tattoos. I'm a young mom,
and then
whatever.
the cops were going to come, and then your son was going to see them. That's a traumatic event for your child.
Yeah, and then I have to go to jail, even though I got money to bond out. But I'm so well known as somebody that gives to the community. Oh, I would have been on Facebook on Sheriff's League. Like, oh, this person does all this hair artistry and this is Shhmoney.
And it would have affected your brand.
And it would have affected me. So the more she's talking, she's walking away and getting louder. And at that point, I felt so vulnerable to the point that I felt like I had nothing else. I couldn't do nothing. nor can I hit her. Can I get loud? I can't do nothing because I'm teaching my son a lesson at this point. It's a very hard lesson to learn at a certain young age. And I walked to the parking lot afterwards, and I really sat on it. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna whoop this hoe's ass. Like, I'm gonna wait for her after this baseball field. And I was shaking, even to the point that my boyfriend came in. He is white. Same thing, race as him. And I'm not gonna lie.
Would it have been if he would have
Oh,
pulled
and
off?
he-
No,
Screaming.
the
the
moment
crazy
that
part
coach would have
is-
said something, Derek would
He
have
would have
probably
said something. And the crazy part is, oh shit. Crazy part is that he was at the gas station. So he didn't walk up until after all this has happened. God works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
Because if not, we would have been those parents.
Yes.
And he walks up and he's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm saying, don't talk to me. It's your type of people that feel so entitled to belittle others.
poor Derek,
And
though.
poor Derek. My boyfriend's just getting the
Shit, I
wrath of this
know.
fire because he's part of this. Like, I don't know. That's just what it is at that moment.
Yeah.
And I felt bad afterwards, but it wasn't until 2 or 3 hours that I had to
Of course.
apologize.
Right.
And I sat there and I sat on it. I talked to my child. I let him know, like, you know what, people are like this is all around the world. It's a hard lesson to learn at 10 years old. But you can be the nicest person in the world, the way you respond to everything, but you will always
Have haters.
have people like that. Unfortunately, they all come in all different colors and shades. I'm
Yes,
not just
because
saying that it's Americans
racism
and
is not
whites.
just a Caucasian
No,
thing.
because Hispanics are more racist to their
Hispanics,
own people
exactly.
than we are to others. Like,
Yes.
we really
Especially
are.
Cubans.
Yes, Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto
Yes.
Ricans, we all go at each other's necks.
Exactly.
But that right there at that moment, I felt so like
Helpless.
helpless that I couldn't defend my child the way I really wanted to.
The way
And-
you know how to.
Yeah, to fight.
Yeah.
And I didn't want him to feel like that because at that moment, he would have took that as like, this is the way I have to handle every situation.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of
I
you.
still regret it because I wish I would have hit her in her mouth. I'll be real with you.
I'm very
Still to
proud
this
of
day.
you because you
But
made a decision that could have
It could have altered
Could
everything.
have changed your son's life.
And I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna say her name, Janine and Trevor McKellar, however you spell it, MACKELLAR. Let me put it real out there, because I decided a week later. I sat on it, and I really sat on it to think about how I was gonna handle this situation. Do I go to the news? Do I go to the board? Do I snap? Do I find out where they are and where they live at? Because my mom is a probation officer. I have all those documents that I can bring out. And I was like, you know what? God does everything for a reason, and maybe this is my purpose, is to speak, because I'm so well known that my voice is now is made to make a change for something.
Well,
And for other children.
That too, but we also need to take it a step further.
Yeah, it's time to
it's-
make a change.
You also need to start getting the teens, the kids that is being
Together.
bullied
Yes.
together.
When I
to
did,
then start speaking out.
yes, and then I decided that night.
And then the parents and the ones that's supporting them is also speaking out.
Yeah.
But it's going to take not just the parents, but it's also going to
It
take
takes
the
everybody. It
kid
takes a community, a
that's
village
going through it
to make a change.
to do it.
So I decided, my mom was the one that told me, Keisha, use your voice. Your voice is everything. What everything you're going through, use it for a right reason.
Yep.
So I decided to make a post on Facebook. Never did I think that it was going to go as big as it did. And you know, social media is very powerful. So
is.
it helps in certain aspects.
When it's used properly.
When it's used
it is.
properly. I rewrote that paragraph probably about 5 or 10 times, to the point that even Facebook was not even uploading it at one point. So I deleted it, rewrote it, deleted it. And thank God it did, because it was very well written afterwards, after I wrote like 7 times. And I didn't tag them for the purpose of, if it would get to that level, it would make that level by me not giving them free publicity at
Yes.
that point. Because I found out their business, their first name, last name, kids.
own a
school.
business?
Oh yeah, she owns a business and everything. Within 10 minutes of leaving that baseball field, because I stopped and hit baseball players, like other teams. Who is that lady? I want to know her first and last name. And they're like, oh, she's a bitch. She's very disrespectful. She's always like
How does
that.
she own a business?
That's what I want to know. But
What kind of
people only,
business?
she owns a tennis business. Like, she owns a tennis clothing line because her daughter does tennis for a well-known brand out here. So she's one of those. She's very uppity. And once I heard that from about 4 or 5 coaches, and not only coaches, but parents too, they all told me the reason why they never spoke out, because they don't want their child to be hindered long-term not to play, because he has that much power.
He has power.
And he told me, you don't understand how much power I have. Before the
Wow.
conversation was, I was like, you don't understand how much power I have. Let me speak on it. And I walked away. I left. That was the last thing we was said, that we'll see how much power we each have. And I found out everything within 5 or 10 minutes. And I wrote a post a week later. And people tagging Wink News. I had people tagging Koza baseball field. People
Yes.
personally writing Wink News and Koza and Cape Elementary, where my son goes to school, where he was getting bullied because it was one thing after another. And my poor son is home crying his eyes out. I don't understand, Mom. Like, I'm nice. You tell me not to hit. I don't defend myself.
Wow.
But I'm tired. He straight up told me at 10 years old, I am tired.
That's
and at that point, it's
crazy.
like, I know my mom was a probation officer. I hear these stories of these 10 and 11-year-olds taking their own lives. My son will not fall victim to that. So
Absolutely
if
not.
I got to be a voice now, then I see hundreds of comments of parents going through the same thing. This is not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
So if there's more parents that have basically, so the parents are the bullies.
Oh, parents
and
are
the
the bullies.
child is
Are
learning from the
becoming them.
parents.
Exactly.
So what are we going to do about it?
Well, where it starts at is home, and where it comes at is bringing
What are we going to do about
power.
it? Because this now I'm
power
invested.
comes in numbers. Just like when people are wanting to make a change, there needs to be something that's written up. There's
So who is
there's
the
a
head
thing.
of the
So
baseball?
Jessica is the head. God, what is it called? I want to say principal. Is not principal.
Director?
President. I wrote her 4 times. I have wrote her twice on Facebook. No response in this last 3 weeks that has happened, because that happened May 20th. I've called the board, and I talked to Eric. He says he has nothing to do with that. He is just an investor, in other words, of Cape Coral. This is all a nonprofit organization that people put all together. I have written every single person that I could, and I have no response, because this is a cult. Naturally, it is what it is. People know each other. They're too scared. After this post, I have took screenshots of other parents writing me that this was their coach last year that just passed. He is evil. He is disrespectful. He has belittled me and my child. My son is 8 years old that doesn't ever want to play baseball again, and he easily
Because of
shits
him.
baseball because of him. Yes, they're undefeated. But that is not the way you become a leader. This is the
No.
leader that we're teaching our kids, and his kid is a bully.
You can
so I'm hearing
always
from other
knock
parents.
him off that
so
high
at this
horse.
point, there's no other way but to make.
We gotta
You
make a
have to
difference.
make shit
Yeah.
rumble. So I have personally reached out to Wink News and Fox 4. Now I have to become that. If I got to be a platform, because I've had parents hit me up and said, they sent me paragraph, screenshot this, please, and then the last paragraph. But I want to stay anonymous, because I don't want it
they're
to hinder my
scared.
kids. They're scared.
They're scared.
We cannot be scared to make a change. Was Rosa Parks scared to stand up on that bus?
Exactly.
And take that jail time? No. Was anybody else
No,
scared?
she was probably scared.
But she did
She
it.
still did it.
But she did it.
So the point is, it's not about being scared.
It's about making a change, because our
making a
new
change.
generation that are going to be
Absolutely.
presidents, going to be governors, that's going to be lawyers and judges. This
gonna
is our
be- it's
kids.
gonna be them.
And you're allowing these kids to bully other kids and do that. If my kid commits suicide between now and high school, I will murder somebody. I will sit in jail for 50 years, perfectly fine, with no hesitation. Something needs to stop.
Yes.
And we have to all come together. And I am making a day that I am bringing all the parents here. And I am bringing as many kids together so they can understand that they can have a group session to understand that they're not the only ones getting bullied. It's
Yes.
not you
Yeah.
alone. Because to my son, it's only him. But
Yeah.
these other kids, it's probably only them. They think it's only them. There's no
All those
difference.
parents that did they don't want to be anonymous, maybe do something between you guys.
Exactly.
So that
But stop being anonymous. What
Yeah.
are you going to do for your child to be anonymous? Are you going to allow this until you have to wake up and walk to your child? And
I
see
would
them
rather my
hanging
child not
themselves?
play no
sports.
sport.
Then deal with
Then
this.
deal with that.
And honey, Cape Koza baseball field is not the only thing in Lee County with baseball teams. I played for Hancock my whole life. There's no Fort Myers. There's De Leon. There's Naples. There's Fort Myers. There's a lot of places. But unless we stand up and make a change, there will
Nothing's
never
gonna
be a
happen.
change.
Yep.
And us parents, I'm telling you directly here on Parlor Talk, like, please make that step. Stop being scared, because we are the only voice our children have. And if we are not their voice, who are they going to speak to? Who are they going to defend to? And this goes on long term, because if they're getting bullied at home, and this is where parents conduct themselves, they're going to bully somebody else. And when they go into the workplace, they're going to bully the next person. And it's going to be a domino effect for years.
Absolutely.
And we need to all come together for this, because Janine, you're going to have to see me, ho. You're going to have to see me.
And that's on God.
And that is a promise, not a threat.
No, and not in a
And not a physical
and
form.
not in a physical
because I could have
form.
whooped that ass that day.
yeah, not
no,
even
I'm
like
gonna
that.
show you.
I'm gonna show you.
It needs to be.
So-
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
change. And if Koza does not let go of Trevor McKellar as a leader, that whole baseball team field was go downhill. And it's that simple. And it's sad, because baseball, football, soccer, tennis.
physical
It's great
activities.
for children. Mentally, physically, emotionally, it's great for them to understand team building. And
Yeah, but not
understand
like
their
that, though.
But not like
So
that.
like that.
we're definitely gonna have to do some kind of planning committee, get shit
Well, I
going.
definitely want to have the parents. I'm
because-
trying to plan a day that they come on a Monday where we speak on this, and where parents that are willing to
So-
not be anonymous to come
so
speak on
maybe
this.
the day that we do have a psychologist come in that she actually focuses on youth bullying. So we got to check on the date for that, and then maybe we can invite the parents to come
Yes,
that
please.
day.
And my mom is willing to, because she's a juvenile probation officer,
Mm-hmm.
supervisor for 17, 20 years. And she's dealt with this. She sees that it's at home. These parents are scared of their children.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop your kid's ass. And I say that very calmly because these kids are very bold
Latina
to
in
say,
you.
yeah, because these kids are really quick to say, I'm going to call the cops. It's not illegal to discipline your kids.
It's not.
They need to
As
be
long as
put.
you
Stop
don't take
being
it too
friends
far.
with your children. We are not here to be friends. We are here to build these children to be the best they can be, to be a great husband and a wife for somebody else, not
Absolutely.
for us.
We
And
we
we
were
need to
giving
make a
those children
change.
to raise them to be productive humans of society.
Exactly.
Not to go clubbing with them.
No. And
That
not to
comes
be
later on in
that
life.
favorite parent that has all these kids at the house
People
and
still
chilling
go
with
clubbing?
them. Oh yeah, big time. The stuff that I hear sitting in my chair, I'm just looking at the parent and the way the kids talk to them, 15, 16 years old. They're running
Yeah,
over
no.
these parents. And I will legit tell them, I will not do your hair. Your money don't mean shit to me. You can get out. You don't talk to your mother like that in my chair.
Yeah,
I
no.
will not do it. And the parents are like, thank you. Bitch, they cool. Like, take advantage. Who cares if they don't like you? My mom didn't care. My mom whooped me with extension cords and broomsticks and spaghetti cans, whatever
She
was
said
given.
spaghetti cans.
Whatever was
My
given.
mom has never hit me in my life.
See, and some parents can do that with certain kids. Unfortunately,
I
not
never got
every
hit.
kid
However,
is not
I
the
was-
same.
My story is
We'll
different.
we'll leave that for another
Yeah,
day.
we are.
Yeah,
Well,
no, there's a change that needs to be done.
We're going and here at Parlor Talk, you have our 100% support, and we're gonna make some changes.
I just don't got bill money.
It's all right, baby, because I got a good lawyer, Christopher
I just don't
O'Brien.
have that
Shout
money.
out to you, because you've been with me since the jump, and I've been in this industry for 10 years, and I was not the same Shhmoney was when I was Kiki. So he's a great attorney, but it's the point that it shouldn't get to that.
It
Physical
shouldn't get to that
part.
point. It shouldn't get to that.
We have a voice for a reason,
yeah.
and everybody needs to speak on that.
Exactly.
And that goes long term for anything. That doesn't go just for kids, for adults. Learn how to respect others, who you care about, who you see on
and
the street.
treat people the way you want to be
Yes,
treated.
it doesn't matter if they're a bum or they're a CEO.
It
You
does
treat
not
them-
matter.
long way.
Yes.
We are in 2023. Like, can we please stop categorizing people by their skin color, by their outer appearance? Like, there is no reason for that anymore.
No.
We
We
have
all bleed
business
the same
owners,
blood.
CEOs. A tattoo does not define a person. A hair color does not define a
At all.
person. It's like, come on, like this is ridiculous.
No, it's gotten very overboard, and something needs to change. If not, we're gonna keep losing people. And suicide is as the
and
highest.
we're gonna keep losing
the highest
our youth.
rap.
All right, guys. Well, this was Emmy. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me, guys.
I want you to look into your camera and tell people the name of your business, your Instagram handle, Facebook, whatever, how they can reach you, where they can find you and follow you.
And if you have any promotions going on for your business, let them know too.
All right. Well, my business name is Emmy Garcia Aesthetics. You can find me on Instagram at Emmy Garcia Aesthetics. I don't have any promos right now, but I will soon. I'm working a lot with my mentor,
Good.
so I have a lot of things cooking. soon,
Good.
Now that I'm like full focus on my business. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
awesome. So you only have Instagram, no other social medias?
Facebook, but I primarily use
Instagram for your work?
Instagram. Yeah, it's so much easier.
And they can book you from Instagram.
Yep. My link is right on there.
All right.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
I
for having
appreciate
me.
you coming.
Yeah.
From the moment I asked her to come, it was a yes. She didn't know what it was,
course.
but she just said yes. Thank you
Of
so much for
course,
that.
I'm always here to support.
Yes. Thank
Especially
you.
if you guys do something about the bullying. Like, I'm not a mom, but I have nieces and nephews, and so I get
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
my nephew is like kind of like your son. He's taller than everybody. He's in 4th grade too, and he's super tall. And I get it. So
It's hard.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, but with this, we're going to close down for this session today. Thank you guys so much for chiming in for Parlor Talk. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and share. That is the way that you can help us grow so that we can continue to be a voice for every child and every woman here in Southwest Florida. Till next time, I'm Dee Dominguez.
This is your girl, Enya Phoenix.
Emmy Garcia.
I'm Shhmoney, y'all. So follow me on all social sites. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, tag us. And if you want to be part of our show, hit us up. Because we're always bringing different entrepreneurs on here.
And we are looking for sponsors.
That part.
We need you guys' business to help support us so we can support you guys.
Yes.
All right. See you guys next week. Bye. Good one. See you.